Hello everyone, and welcome to a Phillip Smith movie review. Today I will be reviewing the 2012 musical Les Misèrables. Special warning for this video, the following review may contain coarse language and spoilers, so you have been warned. Also, I have not read the book that this is based off of, so any comments about this isn't the movie isn't close enough to the book, well, you're gonna be ignored, so you've been warned. Alright, so the musical Les Misèrables is basically about a man named Jean Valjean, aka Hugh Jackman, aka Wolverine, being chased down by Inspector Gerald. I don't speak French. I'm sorry. First it was for stealing bread, then it was for violating parole, then it was just kind of like, I have nothing better to do with my life, I'm gonna chase down this man. And eventually, over the years, he gets involved with the June Rebellion, which was basically a two-day march on Wall Street, and if they didn't make a book and a musical about this event, no one would remember it. It was a two-day failed rebellion. No one would remember. And that's pretty much what Les Mis is all about. On to the actors then. First of all, when watching the trailers and whatnot, we got a huge cast list. First and foremost was Anne Hathaway. She was being advertised as like one of the lead roles, and it's true, her part is important to the story, but hate to say it, but she plays a good whore. That sounds mean. Sounds really mean, but you gotta understand that she played the whore well, and I think we all can agree that the song I Dreamed a Dream just kind of made us, everyone in the theater, just little manly tear. I'm no different. There was a little, just a little tear rolling down the side of my face when she sang that. And then she dies. She dies of AIDS or some French prostitute known disease. And the other actors are Hugh Jackman, which I've only seen Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. And Wolverine didn't require a lot of acting. It was more of a ching, 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 ching. And like he plays Wolverine well, but it's just the fact of I haven't seen him actually act. And in this movie, I was pleasantly surprised on his acting skill. It was very good, and he is a good singer. And a lot of people agree with me, I hope, on that one, because they're probably going to disagree with me on this next one, Russell Crowe. Now, a lot of people complain that he can't sing, he's too short to be in this role, because apparently, like, Hugh Jackman, who was Jean Valjean, is a lot bigger in the books and in the play, and Inspector Javert, is a little bit shorter. But in the movies, they were about equal height. A lot of diehard fans complained about it. I've read the comments on the internet, and to me, it really didn't bug me. I liked Hugh Jackman. I thought he was a great singer for the role that he was playing, because I can't really imagine an inspector as like an opera singer. His rough and ragged voice fit the role of the inspector, and that's another key thing of note. This movie was one of the first movies to incorporate the singing live of the actors instead of using pre-recorded tracks and then having the actors lip sync to it, which it was a daring move, and in my opinion, it pulled off. Now, speaking of the music, the top 3 songs for me would be the opening scene where they're pulling the boats in. Look down, don't look 'em in the eye. I liked it. It kind of set the darker mood for the rest of the movie. And the second, number 2 on my top 3 would be Master of the House, which I've talked to some people and they think that the innkeepers were too over the top and too crazy, but really this one song is the comic relief for the entire movie, because we all needed a little bit of a laugh after I Dreamed a Dream. Yeah. And the number 1 song, in my opinion, would be The Confrontation. Now, this is the rap battle between Jean Valjean and Inspector Javert, and you could basically just add some auto-tune, and this would be better than any rap song that's being produced right now. About an hour after watching this movie, I still had the "and all I did was steal some bread" stuck in my head, and I liked it. I liked it. I've listened to it a couple times after watching the movie, and it still remains my favorite song from the movie. And speaking of the music, this is the part that a lot of people hate, was the fact that they sang every single fucking word. It bugged me as well. I like musicals. I'll pretty much watch The Sound of Music. I'll watch Sweeney Todd, Little Shop of Horrors. I'll watch pretty much anything. But when you sing every word, Jesus, it gets annoying. Halfway through the movie, I liked the first half, but that second half, it started getting to me, and I was like, are they going to start talking? Or, because I think there's about 6 words that are spoken in between songs, if you're lucky. And that's the reason why most people hate it, because this was advertised as a musical, not an opera. I don't want to watch an opera. Ugh. Now, also, reasons why people don't like this, and me included, it was 3 hours. No joke. 2 hours, 37 minutes, my bad. But seriously, over 2.5 hours of just non-stop singing. They didn't even break it up with anything interesting, like Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, Dark Knight Rises, Inception. Those movies are able to break up those almost 3 hours with a little bit more interesting parts, where really, with Les Miserables, 1, singing gets annoying, and 2, I don't give a fuck. The only characters I really cared about were Inspector Javert and Jean Valjean, and in the second half of the movie, I was getting bored and a little bit antsy, they replaced the whole chasing with this romance between Rebellion Kid and Cosette, something like that. And really the romance was like, hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but we don't have telephones, so I'll stalk you maybe. Because he really is kind of a stalker. He sees this girl in the street, doesn't even say a word to her, goes to his, smoking hot brunette friend and, hey, Little Miss Friend Zone, where can I get that? If you find her for me, I'll love you. And then that's it. That's pretty much it. So, the only thing there's 2 things they could have done to make this movie better. And that would be one, to cut it down, make the movie shorter. But from what I've heard, they already cut large portions out from the play and the book. So really, if they decided to cut it even more, it would get to the point where it's just a bunch of events and not a lot would be done, and it would just kind of butcher, it would be a butcher of a film, and it would just kind of insult the musical and the books. So that option's thrown out. The only other option, in my opinion, would be to split it into two movies. The first part, up to the point where Jean Valjean gets Colette, and then there's like that 8-year time gap. If they would have just ended it right there, and then had a little to be continued, I would have really, really liked that. And then the second part being that whole, like, June Rebellion thing that I really didn't like, because I wouldn't have to watch it. And I could have sat down and go like, wow, that was a good movie. Can't wait for the second one to come out. And then I would have just hated the second one. But that's fine, that's fine. Now, my final recommendation for it, for most people, it's a fuck it. Don't watch this movie. Just don't. It's a waste of 3 hours. For anyone who is a musical lover, and like, I mean die-hard musical lover, you have to watch more than The Sound of Music, I would recommend to rent it, preferably through a Redbox or a Netflix, like I did, so you don't have to pay for it. And if you like it, then yeah, go ahead and buy the Blu-ray, buy the DVD, whatever, and you'll be happy. You'll be happy, you'll put it on your shelf. And to those that I would recommend buying it, you already have it. You were probably there on Christmas Day, outside of the movie theater. You probably saw it, you loved it, you argued with your friends, you convinced them to go, and then you've got the collector's edition platinum box on your shelf. So you already have it if you are a die-hard fan or something like that. The alternative recommendations for those who are still looking for a musical to fill their song-loving heart, I would recommend Sweeney Todd, the one with Johnny Depp and directed by Tim Burton. I like it. I like Johnny Depp in it, and it's set close to the time period. So if you really liked it, then go ahead and go watch it. And that's all for me. If you guys want to subscribe or leave a comment down below and recommend a movie that I should review, go right ahead. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go make a barricade out of furniture.